Hey everybody, it's me, Rick Acosta, the Dodger Card Collector, coming to you with another video. Today is Thursday, December 29th, 2 days away from New Year's Eve. The big college football Final Four is about to happen. I have no predictions. I just want to see two really good games. What else? Fantasy football. Do any of you guys play fantasy football? My team is in the Fantasy League Football Championship game. I'm the number one ranked seed, but unfortunately, I'm going into this game without Jalen Hurts, without Derrick Henry. So I'm a 21-point underdog going into tonight's Titans Cowboys game. So I don't know what's going to happen there. I'm a little bummed out. The prize is $500 if you win. It's going to be a little bit of a struggle, but I have Trevor Lawrence as my quarterback, and I'll see how I replace Derrick Henry. I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm kind of hoping he still gets, as of this recording, he's listed as doubtful, so I'll have to make a decision between now and 5 o'clock. So what have I been doing collecting wise this week? I went to the Burbank card store. Hadn't been there in several weeks, so I decided to go check it out. As usual, they had a lot of vintage, and I saw a 1952 Topps Jackie Robinson in a PSA 4.5 for $20,000. And I saw a really nice 1938 Gaudy Bob Feller in an SGC 4. And they wanted $2,800 for that, I think. I was just like, the Feller I really liked, but I just go, if I'm going to spend $2,800, I need to spend it on a Jackie Robinson. Also, they have a really nice selection of T206 cards. They bought a really nice collection couple of months ago. A lot of, I would say at least VG to X, if not excellent T206 cards. So if you happen to be anywhere near Southern California and you're a T206 collector, check it out. Actually, if you're ever a collector, and I'm in no way affiliated with Burbank Sports Cards, but if you're ever in the area, you really should check it out. They're having a big baseball card show, sports card show, Super Bowl weekend. It's going to be held in Ontario, California. And I was talking to Rob, the owner of the Burbank card store, and he mentioned that Beckett's going to be grading on site. And PSA is going to have some type of service there. I don't know if it's going to return your cards that day, but supposedly they're still working on something out there for PSA. Don't quote me. So the past couple of weeks, I've been watching a lot of top 50 videos, and I'm just loving really the interpretations I've seen of the top 50 collection. I have notes, so I'm actually, because there's several collectors I want to call out, so I don't want to miss anyone. But the very first top 50 video I saw was actually a top 100 video. That was Josh, rated rookie. Oh my God, he did a top 100 of baseball, football, basketball, hockey. I could be wrong. I think he slipped in a soccer card in there. Josh's collection is incredible because he's got all the superstars. He's got a lot of, I want to say he has all the rookie cards. And his cards are all above a PSA 5, and a lot of them are PSA 9, PSA 10, unless we're talking about something vintage. But I saw his and just went, amazing. I just sat there. Then next, I saw baseball collector Mike. He did a top 50, all baseball, which is my forte. That's why I loved it. And his stuff was amazing. I just sat there. I was shaking my head and just marveled at his top 50 and looked forward to seeing it when I saw it came out on YouTube a couple of weeks ago. But then I saw something different. I started seeing some change in the scenery, which really is guiding me to what I'm going to show you guys shortly. Eric, those back pages. In his video, he said he wasn't really a top 50 kind of guy. Then instead, he proceeded to show us 5 cards from the inaugural class of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Babe Ruth, Ty Cobb, Honus Wagner, Walter Johnson, and Christy Mathewson. And I was like this. It was amazing just to see 5 guys, 5 incredible cards, and there they were. And that was Eric's top 50. Then John Mangini comes out and puts out a 102-minute concert of his card collection. It was so good. I was so overwhelmed by the extensive collection this man has. I was overwhelmed. I had to watch that thing in 15-minute increments just so I can absorb it. And actually, I'll be honest with you, I've watched it once. I'm going to have to watch it again just because I don't remember much about it specifically, but it was just so good. Then the next one I saw was TJ Maxx, Vintage Nostalgia. Terry always throws a twist in his videos, and I love that about him. He did the 50 players he enjoyed collecting the most in his collection. So after all that, it got me to start thinking, I want to put in a twist here too, because I honestly think when we watch these videos, I realize, it makes me realize when we make these videos, how we all look at our collections. Now, I have often thought that our collections, our card rooms, or how we display our collections can be considered a form of art, so to speak. And as artists, we all collect differently, and it shows in everybody's videos. So because of that, my interpretation of the top 50, like the ones that I just mentioned to you, is going to be a little different. Now, growing up, and if you've seen my videos in the past, when I was 12, 11, 13 years old, I was more concerned about quantity. How many cards do I have in my collection? I now have 3,000 cards in my collection. I have 4,000 cards in my collection. I think I was somewhere around 4,000 cards. And mind you, this was 1980, and all I really had was the entire, I would say 3/4 of the 70s decade, some 60s and some 50s cards. But 3,000 cards was a lot of cards. Now, as I've grown up, and like I said, you've seen in my videos, I talk more about quality as opposed to quantity. I'm not somebody who collects 200,000 cards. I try to keep it to a minimum. So today, for my top 50, though, I am going to do a 180 than what I normally do. And that's going to be, I'm going to discuss quantity. So I'm going to show you the top 50 cards in my collection based on quantity. The cards of the players I have most in my collection. Now, I'm not a player collector. You're not going to see 3,000 Mike Trout cards. You're not going to see 1,500 Freddie Freeman cards in my collection. The results are going to be pretty surprising. So let's take a look. Okay, so since we're basing this top 50 based on quantity of the card, of the player that I have in my collection, we're going to have a lot of ties. So there's going to be 53 or 54 cards that are going to make up this top 50. So there's a group of 8 tied at 46. So I'm going to show you some cards that maybe I've shown up before, maybe some that I just want to show you for the very first time. All right, this group here is all tied at 25. I have 25 cards of each player in my collection, starting with the alternate version of the 2016 Topps Corey Seager. He's throwing in this version. 1981 Topps Pedro Guerrero. He had a 79 rookie, which I absolutely just despise. And then the second year Bob Gibson, 1960. Coming down here, I have the rookie Oral Hershiser and the rookie Willie McCovey. Continuing in this group, Willie Mays from 1965. And we go down here, 1974 Topps Raleigh Fingers. Love this card. I remember buying it when I was 9 and just love the layout of it. Not a big fan of his rookie. Actually, I'm not a big fan of many of his early cards when he didn't have a mustache. But this one and probably the 75 ranked really high for me. And my last card of this group is the rookie Johnny Padres. I bought this card raw, and it's a single print high number. And I turned this into, submitted this to PSA, came back as a 4. So this is my group of 8 that is tied at number 46. We have a 4-way tie for 42nd place. I have 26 cards of this player, of each player that I'm about to show in my collection. Starting off with the 1977 Topps Steve Yeager. I wanted to get the 73 Yeager. He's wearing a different number, 41, and it's his rookie card. But trying to find that on eBay is pretty expensive, especially graded. So I have settled for the 77 Yeager as a placeholder. The next card, you're going to look at this and go, I don't remember having this card. That's because this is the 1977 O-Pee-Chee Rick Monday card. The 77 Topps featured Monday on the Cubs, but he had been traded for Bill Buckner that season, and O-Pee-Chee went ahead and airbrushed the Dodger cap, tried to make that uniform look like a Dodger uniform, which it isn't. It's so horribly ugly that I find it unique and fascinating. That's why I'm showing it to you in my collection. That's the 77 O-Pee-Chee Rick Monday. Next is the rookie 1975 George Brett. Growing up, George Brett and Mike Schmidt, those were my two guys. Even though they didn't play for the Dodgers, I was a big Ron Say fan as well. Brett and Schmidt, though, were the bomb, and I love this card. Just a great player. And the final card of this group, let's put him in a good position here, is Vida Blue from the 1973 Topps. Hate on the 73 set all you want. I personally love this set. I love the action shots. I know Vida Blue is a mile away and there's a hitter right in front of him. I still think this is a great shot. And one day I'd like to show off my 73 set just because it's the first set I ever collected. It's just a wonderful set. So that's Vida Blue. We have a 4-way tie again, at this time for 37th. I have 27 cards of each player, or manager in this case, in my collection, starting with Tommy Lasorda. I chose the 1978 Topps card, basically just because everyone, I could have easily shown off my 1954 Topps rookie, and I would love to, but, Tommy's more recognized as a manager, so I go, let me grab just one of his early Dodger manager cards. So that's why I picked this one. Next up is Bert Hooten, sometimes known as Happy. Love this card. I'm a Dodger fan. You guys know that, but I love this 74 card. He's in action. Rick Russell also had an action shot similar to this, and I believe there's one other player on the Cubs that has one. This just reminds me of being 9 years old, and I think that's just a great action shot of Bert Hooten. All right, next is the 1965 Topps rookie, Phil Negro, which is his second rookie card. We all know that. His first rookie card is from 1964. This one's from 1965. The reason I picked this card is this is probably maybe one of 50 to 100 cards in my collection that I have kept since I was 9 years old. A lot of my collection, who knows where it went. I threw it away, Mom threw it away, I don't know. But I kept this card, so that's why I still have it. I will probably never replace it. You can see it's a VG at best, but that's why I picked this Phil Negro card. And another 1974 card, we just saw Bert Hooten, 1974 Al Oliver. And the reason I picked this card was because the 1974 Pirates cards, very unique, how they used, the pictures all had the Pirates wearing the number 21 in memorializing Roberto Clemente. And I loved the picture, love it. It's the candlestick, the fake grass, the AstroTurf, and there's Al Oliver swinging away. I'm trying to figure out why this guy's not in the Hall of Fame. So that is my tie for 37th place. Okay, 4-way tie for 34th. And this is going to be a 1993 Stadium Club Mike Sosha. I have the rookie Sosha slabbed, and I have the rest ungraded. I'm not really into junk wax, but I really liked this card. I go, he has a cute smile in that photo. So that's why I bought that Mike Sosha card. Next up is a 1976 Topps Jerry Royce. Again, here's a guy that pitched for the Dodgers for several years, but I love this card from 1976. He played for the Pirates, where he was named the National League All-Star pitcher for the 1975 game. I just think that's a great shot. Love the profile. Love the side shot, the angle there of Jerry Royce while he played for the Pirates. Next up, let's move these guys a little here, is a 1964 Topps Brooks Robinson. This one I bought for $10. Nobody else bid on it. This was years ago. And just think it's a nice card. Brooks has some bad cards, but he has some nice looking cards too. So I'm going to lump this in with his good cards. And the next person from this is Reggie Smith, longtime LA Dodger. Also played for the Red Sox. I just like this big action shot from the 1980 Topps set. We have a 6-way tie for 28th place. These cards, I have 29 cards of each player in this set, starting with the 2011 Topps Kenley Jansen. All-time Dodger save leader, just signed the new deal with the Red Sox. The modern cards are a little bit more, they're just action shots. So, all right, the next guy, this is one of my favorite cards just because of that smile. The World Series manager, Dusty Baker, played a great chunk of his career with the Dodgers and the Atlanta Braves. That's from the 1977 Topps set. And another card from my youth, which I never got rid of, was the 1967 Topps Joe Torrey. He was on the Braves. He was still playing catcher at that point. I think that's a good-looking set. That's a good-looking photo, good-looking card. I would invest in this set, but I really don't want to go to the trouble of working on those high numbers, especially Tom Seaver and Rod Carew. That one would be a struggle. But I love the design of this card. What do you guys think? All right, next one. And I didn't notice this till I pulled this out. I pulled this out in honor of Ray from Philly. He loves the Phillies, and I respect it, the living daylights out of him for that. And I picked this Mike Schmidt card as opposed to picking the rookie card. But it was the first time I really noticed, like, wow, this card's pretty off-centered. I pulled this from my set, my 1991 Topps set. But it's a great-looking card. It's like Schmidt's yelling at everybody to get in the position. I think that's taken at Shea Stadium. I could be wrong. And the next card is going to be the 1960 Topps Frank Robinson. I might have mentioned this in other videos, but if you're a player collector, of which I'm not, Frank Robinson is extremely undervalued. You could find some really good cards of his. This one I found extremely cheap, and every time I buy a Frank Robinson card, I shake my head and I go, this should be worth a lot more. From the 1960 Topps set. And the last card, and that's going to be, let's move these over a little here. The 1965 Topps Tony Perez, along with Kevin Collins and Dave Ricketts. But it's more known for Tony Perez, the great Red Sox, or I was going to say Red Sox, the great Reds first baseman and third baseman early in his career. Let's move on to the next set of numbers. We are at number 24, four-way tie, of which I have 30 cards of each player in my collection. Starting off with the 1973 Gaylord Perry. I could have gone easy and picked the 62 rookie. I've shown that off before. Love the 73 set. Love this action shot. I believe that's Greg Nettles, the then Indians third baseman at third base. It's just a great angle, just a great action shot there. And that's Gaylord Perry. Look at the stirrups back then. I miss those. I wish those would come back. Next is the 1966 Topps Jim Palmer. One of my favorite pitchers from the 70s. He could do anything. even now, he's still a really good baseball announcer. But always, my brother had this card when we were children. And then I ended up getting, I have an ungraded and a graded version of this card. And he has nicer cards. You know, the 77 comes to mind. 73 also comes to mind. But I do like this card a lot. That's the Jim Palmer rookie. And next, 1970 Topps Bill Russell rookie card. Russell played with the Dodgers for about 18 years. He is one of the only Dodgers that I know who hasn't left to the team during his playing career, wasn't traded or signed as a free agent. He stuck around the entire time. Clayton Kershaw is also one of the only other ones that during my era, I don't count Koufax and Drysdale or Jim Gilliam as my era. That's Bill Russell. And the next one is going to be 1965 Sonny Jackson, along with some guy named Joe Morgan. From the Colt 45, 1966 Topps Houston Astros rookies. I should have shown you guys the Reds card, but there isn't really a card that comes to mind that stands out where I go, wow, love that card. So I go, let's bring out the rookies. All right. We have a three-way tie for 21. And this, we're up to 31 cards. I have 31 cards of each player in my collection. And we're starting off with third baseman Ron Cey. And this, you know what, Ron Cey, for me at least, Ron Cey has a lot of great 70s cards. Love the 74, love the 75. His rookie card from 72 I really like. His 73 one's actually, you know, it's legendary. He shares it with Mike Schmidt and Dave Hilton. This one, though, stands out. That 74 set, I've shown off several cards from that set in this video, and I'm really liking those cards. All right, second guy on there, Don Drysdale from 1967. I think, no, I have a 68 Drysdale as well. I own the 69, it's ungraded. This one's probably one of my favorites of the later cards. Again, I could have shown you the 57 rookie, but I want to show you guys some different cards today. It's nice to see different cards. And these videos give me that opportunity. And last, definitely not least, is going to be Freddie Jenkins. Definitely I should have picked a Cubs card. But I saw the rookie card laying there and I go, let's throw that on there. So these three guys are tied at number 21. And since I noticed I only have one card in 20, number 20, let's get him out of the way. And that's going to be Davey Lopes, Dodger second baseman, of the famous infield of Garvey, Lopes, Russell, and Cey. I have his rookie as well. I like the 77 card a lot, but I wanted a chance to show off my 74. So Davey Lopes is number 20 in my top 50 this year, I'm going to say. Now at number 17, a three-way tie, we have the 54 Topps Gil Hodges, recent inductee into the Hall of Fame. I think this one's one of my favorite of his. I like the 54, I like the 55. 53 is nice. He's got a lot of good looking ones. I chose this one. And the next member of this group, 1960, rookie card, Topps rookie card of Carl Yaseremski. I think this is the only Yaz I have graded. The rest of them are all ungraded, but it's a great looking card. And I bought this when it was really cheap. It really took off once I bought it. So that was kind of weird to see what the price is nowadays. And the last card in this group is going to be the 1955 Topps Duke Snider. He, again, like Hodges, he has a lot of pretty cards. This one is probably my favorite. It was a hard one to get in its day. It's been several years since I've owned it. So that rounds out the group of three. On to the next group. A three-way tie for 14th. I have 34 of each card, of each player in my collection, starting off with the 1968 Rod Carew. I had this card as a kid. It was a beater. It looked like that thing had been going through the washing machine several times. Loved it. Don't know where it is today. So I replaced it with this one several years ago. Rod Carew, 1968. Next on the list is going to be Hank Aaron, 1957 Topps. My only slabbed Hank Aaron card. It's a beauty. I know they messed up on the shot, reverse negative. Still love it that way though. 1957 Topps Henry Aaron. And the last member of this group, and this shows you how times have changed. It's a 2005 Topps Andre Ethier rookie card with the Oakland A's. And it just goes to show you how many more modern cards are made than vintage cards these days. So Andre Ethier is tied for 14th in the top 50. We are down to the top 13 cards based on quantity of player in my collection. So at number 13, we have Don Sutton in his 1966 Topps rookie card that he shares with Bill Singer. Coming in at number 12, Fernando Valenzuela from the 1982 Topps subset 1981 highlights. I think this card in the Fernando rookie, which he shares with Mike Sosha, those are the only graded Fernando cards I've got. I have 36 Fernando Valenzuela cards in my collection, and that's why he is number 12. We are moving up to number 9. And at number 9, I have a two-way tie with Johnny Bench, 1969, Topps Johnny Bench. I have 38 cards of his in my collection. I should add this is a three-way tie at number 9. 38 cards in my collection. This is the 69 Topps Johnny Bench. I don't ever see myself buying the 68 Topps rookie. Maybe someday. I really don't like the card, and it's also kind of expensive. So I do love this card, though. 69 Topps Johnny Bench coming in at number 9. Another card coming in at number 99, or at 9, is going to be Steve Carlton. 1965 Topps Steve Carlton. I also have 38 cards of Steve Carlton in my collection. And he does not have a 1966 card. So that's Steve Carlton. And the last player tied for 9th is Sandy Koufax. I thought he'd be a lot higher, but he's tied for 9th. 1963 Topps. He was the MVP that year, Cy Young Award winner that year. I remember bidding on this card on eBay. It had a high opening bid several years ago. I bid the opening bid. No one else ever bid, and I won. So this is probably, the rookie card is obviously one of my favorites. This one, though, aesthetically is my favorite. It's just a great pose. Love the Los Angeles uniform on there. So that's number 9. At number 8, with 40 cards, I have 40 Nolan Ryan cards in my collection. This one being the 1971 Topps. I remember buying this for $50. I was pretty happy with that. And that's his last card with the Mets. His 72 card he was with the Angels. So at number 8 is Nolan Ryan. At number 7, Steve Garvey, 1976 Topps. I have 41 Steve Garvey cards in my collection. And I do have the rookie. I have all the Garveys. I just chose this one. Some of these cards, a lot of these cards I picked just based on preference. I just like the look, or I want to show off the set. Sometimes I feel like showing off a card I've shown off several times. Sometimes I want to show off a new card. So in this case, I picked the 76 Garvey, and he comes in at number 7. I have a tie for 5th place, a two-way tie. Cody Bellinger, 2017 Topps Update. This was his high 5 card. He had several rookie cards. This is one of his variations. I chose to buy this one just to be different. I'm sad to see Cody go, but hopefully he can do something in Chicago. And I have 42 Cody Bellinger cards in my collection, if I haven't said that already. And the other card coming in at 5, the other player, is Pete Rose. 1963 Topps, Pete Rose. Again, I have 42 Pete Rose cards in my collection. This one is the only slabbed one I have. I have a bunch of Pete Rose cards, but this is the only graded one I own. And that came in at a PSA 3. I remember when I bought it, I thought I was crazy. And the price is like quadrupled since I bought it. So I'm not that crazy. So that is number 5. We have a 3-way tie for 2nd place. 3-way tie for 2nd place. And we're going to start it off with Matt Kemp. 2005 Topps Update. Matt Kemp rookie card. I have 44 of his cards in my collection. Loved it when he played on the Dodgers. He played on the Dodgers a couple of times. And he was a great player, fan favorite. He's retired now, but I do have 44 cards of his in my collection. The third number 2 card, Reggie Jackson, 1969 Topps. Fittingly that I own 44 Reggie Jackson cards in my collection, as he is the infamous wearer of 44 on his jersey. That's my Reggie Jackson. And my last card, in ranked number 2nd, is Tom Siever. And that's the 1968 Topps Tom Siever. I would love to own his rookie card from 1967. Don't see it happening. Would love it, but I don't see it happening. We'll see. Maybe someday. So I'll take this 68 in its place any day of the week. And I think you're going to be surprised at number 1. As I mentioned, Siever, Jackson, Kemp, 2nd ranked, all have 44 cards. The number 1 card with 94 cards in my collection, which sometimes I feel is 80 cards too many, is Clayton Kershaw. 2008 Topps Update and Highlights, Clayton Kershaw rookie card and a PSA 8. I have 94 Clayton Kershaw cards in my collection. Again, as I mentioned earlier, it goes to show you how many more modern cards there are than there are vintage cards. Sandy Koufax, I have 38, and those are all plain day cards, where Clayton Kershaw, those are also all plain day cards, 94. So big difference there. So that's my top 50 based on player quantity. I wanted to try something different. I hope you guys stuck around, and if you did, hopefully you enjoyed it. So we will talk to you next time. If I don't talk to you soon, Happy New Year, you guys. Take care.